I've really been looking forward to this afternoon. There's something about being in a room full of professionals who work in responsible tourism and award winners. And I've had a few sessions like this in the last year, and it leaves me feeling really uplifted, almost physically floating with the energy and drive from the people that I meet and the stories that you tell me. So I wasn't surprised when I looked at the guest list and found that at least a quarter of you wrote that you were founders. You are founders of businesses and organizations. You have founder in your title. I think that says a lot about the people who are here today, innovators and change makers. I'd like to start today with a quote, or part of a quote, from a former president of the Philippines, Gloria Arroyo, who said, "The power of one, if fearless and focused, is formidable." And responsible tourism is about being fearless and focused. It's about identifying a problem that we can take responsibility for, either as an individual or as a company, and to make better places for people to live in and better places for people to visit. And that's what we've done at ICRT Global, and we're celebrating our first birthday today. We're a non-profit on a mission to support and educate the responsible tourism change makers of the future, the people who will be here in this room in the next few years accepting awards. But we know that many mid-career professionals don't have the time or the resources to go to university to learn about responsible tourism principles. And some university courses can be a few years out of date inevitably. They don't know what you are doing now on the ground and the new things that are happening around the world. So we want to give those professionals a concise boost of new thinking, to give them information about the innovations you're driving today, which is why the awards are so useful for collecting such great information. And we want to share those ideas. We want to share what you're doing between countries and continents, between hospitality and tourism, private and government sector, and between academics and boardrooms. There's a lot to share. So what are we doing? We've launched 2 online master's levels training courses, a professional certificate in responsible tourism and a professional certificate in rebalancing tourism and addressing over-tourism. As you can see, our first dates for 2026 are now live, and we'll also be launching a 3rd course on shared value later in the year. Do join us. At the end of each 10 or 12-week course, we don't ask for a dissertation. We ask, what problem have you identified that you can take responsibility for? How will you address it? How will you measure it? And receiving the student reports over the past year has been an absolute joy. And I'm pleased to say we have some alumni and students in the room today. And we've seen ideas in these reports, such as a hotelier launching a centre to help other hospitality businesses turn organic. We've had a DMC looking at addressing economic leakages in their country, and an industry association planning ways to simplify its sustainability reporting. As these ideas develop, we hope to give you more information about them, and we'll also be publishing some of our students' work and reports in the future, so watch this space. Our second major area of focus is to act as a hub, a global hub for our international network of independent ICRTs who operate throughout the world, as you can see. This year, in addition to the long-established ICRT Finland, we also welcomed ICRT Balkans, and we have Vicky, who's from ICRT Balkans here today, and launched an overall ICRT Europe. Each of these networks follow the principles of the 2022 Responsible Tourism Charter, but they only focus on what's important to them in their region. So in India, for example, we have MOUs with both universities and tourist boards to support them embed the principles of responsible tourism into their academic and operational programs. And each ICRT also supports and runs our regional tourism awards, which we're very excited about to hear about later, with our partners, the Latin America Travel Association and World Travel Market Africa, who are also here today. So just as an example of some of the things you can access across the network, next week you could join our ICRT Finland and the Nordics with a free 2 days of responsible webinars looking at new work across the Nordics. And there's a lot of interesting things happening in that part of the world. So if you can log in, please do. On the 18th of November, LATA is running the latest in its series of responsible tourism webinars, which have included and will include winners from the Responsible Tourism Awards. And the next one will be on climate adaptation and mitigation. Plus, in March, you can join our European colleagues and ICRT Balkans colleagues at ITB. And in April, you can, of course, go to World Travel Market Africa, where the responsible tourism sessions are run by Harold and created by Harold. And there are also events around near that at Pigs Peak in Eswatini, which you will hear about Pigs Peak work later. In June, we have a major conference which is run by our ICRT network in Asia, Southeast Asia. And in our summer, we also have the ICRT India Foundation, ICRT Sri Lanka, and we have Shamri with us today, will be running events during BLTM. And we're also joined by Adam Abar, who you'll meet later from ICRT West Africa, who also runs events in his country. So as you can see, there's a lot happening. Let me share that quote with you about the power of one again. This time, let's look at the whole sentence. The power of one, if fearless and focused, is formidable, but the power of many working together is better. And the winners and speakers that we'll hear from today all have that in common. They take responsibility as individuals, they identify a problem, develop solutions, share the impact, and then they help others on the same journey. And that's what we do, and that's what you do. So today is all about the power of the one and the power of the many. We're all here today together to learn. We want to learn from you and inspire you with the results of our winners and our debates. And we've got a brilliant lineup of speakers and panelists to do just that.